try that. Hello. Is that working? Yes, it looks like I've got green bars. No audio yet. Okie dokie. 1 moment. That should be coming through there. Anything coming through? Oops, no? I appear to have green lines on my screen, so that's usually a good indication of audio. Hello! Hopefully the audio is coming through now. So yes, it's Wednesday. Barely. Oh dear. Yeah. Fudge. I'll just yell loudly. I'll try not to eat the microphone because I've also got a cup of tea to try and drink. So yes, I'm here for the Wednesday art stream. Except, yes, this is not me if you haven't already gathered. It's just, I set the camera up to stare at the desk. So otherwise I'd have to sort of lean onto the desk. But anyway, we're here. Apologies for being a bit late. I made a drastic error. I decided to take a nap. I woke up a bit late. Damn it. Anyway, with that out the way, we should now get on with some drawings today. I hope everyone is fine. Thank you for coming along. Ooh, actually, I trundle off to this side of the screen. I have to do something. So, I have to say thank you to these people after they decided to follow me. It's just they didn't do it when the stream was running, so it didn't pop up with anything, but I want to let them know that yes, I thank them for this. So we have... Where did it appear? Here. No. Yes. No. Where? This is hard to try and figure out where I'm looking. So yes, Tachcom AI has followed me. Thank you very much. Oop. Next one. Eel of Art has followed me. Next. Yay! So It Out has followed me. And click the button. No, you click the button. There we go. LA Gamer has followed me, so thank you very much for those 4 people who followed me off stream. I wanted to make sure that you at least had the recognition as it came up on stream, so thank you very much. The follows are most welcome. And I do appreciate all the follows. So anyway, we shall crack on with today's art, which doesn't involve this plushie. It's just I needed a plushie to put on camera. Otherwise, I hate the idea of you just staring at a set of hands doing the talking. Although I might do that for one stream. I might just draw my hands and mouth and then just do it that way. We shall see. We shall see. Anywho. Off the plushie goes. So, I was going to try and crack on with the drawings I did last week. However, I did a slight whoopsie and I need to fix that. I may have spilt tea over the image, so I'm like, ugh! So I've got to redraw them. So that won't be done today. That's why I came up with a different idea. I did want to show, for those that may not follow me on Instagram or Pixiv, the latest one that I have done and coloured is this one of Chris. Hang on, if I do it that way, it'd be better. So this is Chris from Symphagear. In the latest event they have her, or they're doing the whole team as like nurses and stuff like that. So yeah, this is Chris. I saw an image and thought it looked cute, so I doodled that up for a friend because I know he likes Chris. He's a massive Symphagear nerd, so yeah, so he's going to get that one. Bad in time. It's alright, she'll be back soon enough. No doubt. But yes, I did see, scrolling through my computer... Oh, I just had something go off in there. Yes, I just grabbed my mobile so I could actually show this picture, and it's just let me know that I've gone live. Thank you, phone. I just wanted to know that. Yes, so there was an image I came across on my computer. I thought, brilliant. I will try and use that as a basis. This is where I can't find the bloody image now, isn't it? I was going to use it as a basis for drawing a 2B image. And it saved it to my phone somewhere. I'll leave it with my phone. Oh, there it is, there it is. Yay! I got there in the end. I got there in the end. Me and technology. Woo! So, this is, and I'm always awful at pronouncing this, Hane Ame. She's a cosplayer, but she... Wait, hang on, which way's up right for you guys? Alright, let's try turning that down. Does that make it show easier? Ish, apart from the camera glare. But yeah, it's basically she did a sort of 2B / cat girl crossover. So I'm going to take that, and I'm going to actually turn it into 2B with the full dress. And probably the cat ears, because, you know, 2B and cat ears can't go wrong. Can't go wrong. So I'm going to load that one up on the PC so I've got a better screen to look at. And then that is what we shall be doing. I'll need paper first. Where did I put all my paper? There it is. Ever prepared. Ever prepared. Yeah, this is why taking naps is dangerous. You think, oh yeah, I'll be alright, I'll just have a quick nap. A quick half hour, I'll be fine. Hour and a half later, you're like, what am I doing? Become a real old man, it's disgusting. I got to go sit down and take a nap and I never wake up again. Oh, right. So yes, due to the issues I've had as well with music playing on stream, I'm doing the same again where I'm wearing a wireless headset for myself, but I'm not playing any music, so feel free to pop on whatever you feel if you want to, or you can always have another stream going in the background if you want to listen to somebody else. And I'm trying a slightly different camera position to see if that's any better for you. I've just got to remember that it's currently precariously balanced on the front of the monitor, so I can't move it around too much. Right. Right. He says he's going to load it up on his PC, but I'm also going to have it on the phone because it's handy to have the two. Mostly because the way my PC's loaded the image up, it's slap bang behind the tripod. I'm like, I can't see that. GG PC Tan. GG. I have Game OST stuff going because I'm trying to explode evil player mechs with my heroic player mech. Yes, yes. Well, funnily enough, I had the Nier OST going, and it was all fine apart from one song at the start got pulled, mostly because it literally was over my loading page, and there was another one that got pulled partway through even though I was talking. So I just like I'll just deal with what I've got. Of course, I am now trying to draw a portrait image in landscape, which is always hilarious. Oh, I should do it this way and start. Yeah, let's get something on the paper. Gigantic jelly bean. Because the other thing I want to try with this is also obviously using a photo reference is mostly to try and get an idea of anatomy whilst I'm doing it. So it's trying to keep the anatomy whilst also turn it into an anime-esque style image as well. Also because I don't think I'd be able to do a proper portrait picture. A realistic one, I should say. No, that's not right. The arm comes up more. Arm comes up. And wrist is... If this is anything like last time I tried something like this, it's probably going to be 2 or 3 attempts before I actually get one I'm happy with. But it's all practice, so that's the main reason why, you know, if you have the ability to use photo references and such, to do so. It's the easiest way of learning. I find them really useful for hands. I hate drawing hands. Hands are evil. So when I draw fingers on hands, they tend to be like sausages, just stapled on the hand. And feet are worse. I've also got to watch out for that, I've just realised. Hands and feet are the worst, yeah. Yeah, getting the rest of the body done is all fine, it's just those two parts. Hands and feet are a nightmare. I'm just trying to extend the microphone a bit so I don't keep clocking it with these headphones. They're nice, but if I so much just tilt my head too far to one side, I'm going to start smacking the microphone. So if you hear lots of popping sounds or loud clacky sounds, it's just me tilting my head and forgetting about it again. Now, the other thing I want to do, just load it up on a separate screen, is actually get some images of Toby. Because drawing the cosplayer is fine, but if you want to try and get it to look like the character, it helps to actually have the character up. I say that and I look at all the images I've got of 2B and I'm like, yeah, I'm lucky to find some that are the same. Although the new reincarnation stuff that's coming out is nice. Saber, I don't know if you've seen the look for A2 that's come out, but that's very nice for the new reincarnation. Nope, that's not what I want. Ears can be hard to... Yeah, I tend to like drawing the anime ears, which are... Hang on, I'm just getting back to my camera so I know I'm showing up. Let's just grab a scrap piece and I'll do it in pen so it stands out so you can actually see what I'm doing. Scrap papier. I've got one here somewhere. Those who've watched my streams before know what this paper is. So yeah, I mean, if you're just drawing like anime style ears, what I tend to do for that is think of it as you start off with a C. I'll then add the ear flap bit. It's got a proper name, don't know what it is. And then all I do is just add a couple of lines in, and then that. And I tend to find that is close enough. It's not perfect, but it does as an ear. Let's just so it gets the idea that ear is here across. There'd be an ear here. Ear, there's an ear. I'll stop trying to do ear jokes. I'm just not good at that. That and my jokes tend to fall on deaf ears anyway. Nope, that's kinda. It's annoying. A lot of the fan art I have 2B is just, well, mostly from behind for some bizarre reason, and I can't figure that out. Yeah, she's not known as Too Booty for nothing. Ooh. Because I do want to do this one with the whole flowing dress, the puffy skirty part. Oh, that's close. It's a how to draw kind of thing. That suits me just fine. May not be official how to draw, but you know, it's close enough for government work. I shall take it. Right. Right. So hopefully you can see at least something under it. Most of it at the current moment in time, it's a lot of very fine sketch lines. Whilst I figure things out. So we've got shoulder, we've got back coming down. This is where I'm trying to make it more anime-esque, so it's going to be a lot thinner than a normal human, I guess you could say, if that makes any sense. It's trying to get the fine line between the two. I'm still not happy. I think that should be more that way. Elbow comes down. So if I come off there and bring that line in like that, that should match up with elbow. So elbow should be about there. This is going to be messy as all hell to do. So that would be rib. I always get confused. Don't know how I can get confused how ribs work. So curve down and around. So that'd be rib there. But it's like if you look at a rib cage from a front, you've got the whole. It's a very rough approximation of a rib cage, but it's like the curve up here. For some reason, I have difficulty thinking what that looks like from the side. So on the side, you'd be looking at it like this. So that's your front, and then your ribs are going up that way. And I always struggle with that, and I don't know why. Ribs, how do they work? So I thank you for joining me on another episode of I Figure Out Anatomy. Join me next week, because I'll be confused as how to draw rib. No, I'm done ribs, aren't I? Yeah, I'll still be confused on how to draw ribs by next week, actually. So join me then for the continuing episode of how I get confused by ribs. Which is kind of hilarious, because they don't actually move or anything like that. You know, it's not like well, they move, but they're not jointed like an elbow or anything daft. I'm still not happy with that. So from on that image, from here, so this is why it's not going to be like a perfect image, because I have difficulty in trying to replicate things exactly, and then I get stuck trying to replicate things exactly. Like I don't need to. It's not supposed to be 100% perfect image. I've just got to try and use it to get some bits right. Mostly the important part, the buttocks. I know it sounds kind of bad, but I struggle drawing like a proper perfect, well, I won't say perfect, a proper decent looking backside. They're actually slightly harder to draw than most people think. It's not just a case of making it look like two balloons stuck on the back, otherwise it looks like two balloons, but it looks kind of wrong. It makes me laugh when I go onto like Pixiv and stuff like that, and there's like some artists and whatnot, and they draw the anatomy weird. And then I look at the number of views and like everything that they get from that, I'm like, wow, there's actually like a calling for really strange anatomy, and that leg is too thick, isn't it? Yes, I need to thin that leg out a bit. I need to thin that backside. I've got to remember that I'm currently drawing the high top vest on here, and I don't really want it to be. So it should have. Of course, this is a perfect time for anyone who wants to make bad jokes about butts to go ahead and do so. It's free reign! I'm here to be the butt of all jokes. In the meantime, I hope everyone's doing okay. Has everyone had a good day today? Anyone get up to anything interesting? I haven't done much myself, apart from Kip. I do need to go out shopping as well, which is that's never a good thing. I hate shopping with a passion. I think because it sort of drains so much from me to do it. I think that's half the reason I've been putting it off. Right. Sleeping through most of it. That's good though. Doing good. Surprisingly not hungover. Oh yeah, you had your stream. I couldn't get to it, unfortunately. Sorry about that. I'll have to try and catch up on the VOD. But yeah, with my computer still going through sorting crap out from the hard drive upgrade, it was a nightmare to try and get any signal on my mobile to join in. Which was a shame because it sounded like it was going to be a hilarious stream. But I will catch up on that one. Yeah, evening Jay. Welcome to the stream. Thanks for popping along. So that is... actually, so that needs to curve more of that, and that needs to... I'm trying to avoid the error that I made when I did the one of Liu on the bed in the lingerie, where it's a profile shot and she's just in the underwear, and I didn't draw the angle of the back of the leg right. And it's one of the things that my friend pointed out to me, and I looked at it, I went, now I'm going to see that every time. It was alright until then, curse you. But still, feedback's good. Because now I've remembered it for here. Now the question is, being a robot, should this be like a robotic connection? Like a power plug kind of tail? Or do I just have it as it is on the original image, where it's just appearing from underneath the jacket? I'm kind of torn between the two. How's the sketching? Not too bad. The original idea I kind of had to nix for a meantime because I kind of spilled tea on it. Whoops. So I've got to redraw those images. But, you know, excretion occurs. Came across a photograph on my hard drive that I thought would be a good thing to draw. So that's what I'm doing. It is... I keep struggling with this. Hane Ame. She did a cosplay of Toby, but she had like cat ears and stuff like that, but she didn't have the full dress on. So what I'm doing is taking the pose from the image and using it to help me draw, whilst also turning it into a full 2B with cat ears. Because, why not? So, I'm actually half tempted to sort of leave on the actual thing to cut the legs off here as like a natural end to the image, so there'll be no lines there, it'll just be like the legs finished and it'll be white underneath. Most because I'm not going to get a full shot going down, and I've just realized oh, I hate my mind at times. So on the hang on, I'm going to have to see if I can bring it back up on the phone, and I don't know if it's going to show it. Right, okay. So, point with pen, that is her heel. So her leg's going down and it's coming back up, and that's her heel. That doesn't look like a heel if you're just casually looking at it. And I just looked up then, so I was like, what the? I was like, oh, it's her heel. Oh. Oh. Whoops. That's another reason why I'm probably going to cut this image off a little bit short. Stay there. Oh, fine, stay there. A bit of a whoopsie there on the photography. Oops, I clicked something and it just opened up something else. I didn't want that. Wasn't thinking you were going for that kind of dunking with your tea. Yeah, it doesn't taste as good. Something, pencil ink. Pencil ink? Pencil lead. Bleh. Speaking of tea, I think I need some. The obligatory pint. Not as big a whoopsie as Aria felt. Well, yes, I'm kind of glad I haven't done a whoopsie that big. I like my house. You know, it's nice to live here. Right, okay, let's just at least get the basic done for this. Right, and then so we've got chin there. Her other arm is sort of about there. I will admit there is another bit of art that I have been working on, but I can't show it on stream, mostly because the person that it's for is actually on the stream. But needless to say, she'll probably post it up on her channel when she comes to colour it. That's right, Banana, it's your picture. Aha. I came up with a perfect picture for you. So yes, it's almost done. I just need to line it in, and then I shall get that posted out to you. Because I also think it'd be kind of hilarious to see your reaction to it. Reboot the vocal cords, yeah. So my brain is just on an out of T error. But don't you want the fun of living in a crater? Living in a crater is okay as long as I'm not the one making it at the same time. You know, I'm sure it'd be hilarious to live in a crater created by a massive explosion, but I'd rather not be in the massive explosion to then be living in the crater. Now this is half the problem as well, is the gloves that she's wearing for this picture aren't great. They make it kind of hard to see how her hand is here. So I'm just trying to get the shape done, and then I can worry about saying, right, okay, what's 2B's outfit like and such, and work on that. Nope, that should be there, then there, and there, and there. Now, interestingly enough, in the photograph, she's doing almost like a pinky out move. But I don't know whether to do pinkies out or just give it in. I like the paws in. Paw poos. I need enunciation lessons. It's the problem with being from Lancashire is I just tend to mix everything up into one, almost the same word for everything. It's like people say, oh, can you do like tongue twisters like she sells seashells by the seashore, and all I do is look at it and go, why is she selling seashells at the seashore? People can go onto the beach and pick them up. It's a bit daft, ain't it? It's a problem with growing up in Lancashire. Also, I suck at tongue twisters. Welcome, Cardone. Welcome to the stream. How are you today? Although I've kind of already asked earlier, I know that you're somewhat okay, just, you know, you're forever talking to people late at night. It is this week that you're off, isn't it? I hope it is. Because otherwise you'd have been up all that time at night and you're just like, I gotta go to work now. Right. Right, so let's just see. Have I got? Now it's trying to look at it and say, right, how do I make it look more anime-esque and add curves that it needs? I still get the feeling I may have drawn this butt too big. How do I know when a butt is too big? These are questions that I have to find the answers to. Also, it's just hit me that if my landlord's listening on any of this, he'd be like, what the hell is he talking about in there? That actually doesn't have that sharp of a... Interesting. Actually... Oh, no, I have actually got that line right. Give or take. Let's just bring that leg down a bit more. Alright, okay, let's neaten this up a tad. Let's get rid of some of the hideous sketch lines. Because then I'm just going to add more sketch lines on top of it, but this time it's all the clothing. And then once I'm happy with how I've got the clothing and everything like that, then I'll worry about trying to draw the face. Because the face I could probably spend quite a while on trying to get that right. I'm still... is that going to be too big a head? Let's see. So yeah. Oh, it's sort of alright. And that compared to chin to forehead. Yeah, sort of alright. It's the trouble with trying to keep an anime aspect to this. Not the nose, and then that'll be the centre of the eyes. Alright, that'll sort of do as a rough guide of what I'm doing. Let's just put the centre line back in. Right. So ignore the face, it's just a rough idea of what I need for now. Now let's have a look at Toby's outfit. So... where I thought frills were bad, now I have to deal with feathers. And then puffy sleeves at the top. So I always just... these are like bells, I've got to try and think of it like that. So let's just have a look. They actually go above the shoulder line, so it'd be a bit above there. And then it widens out. Right, let's start from where these feathers are going to come from, because then I can worry about the rest. So if I think of it like a short sleeve shirt, and then feathers, all the feathers, So as she has her arm down, those feathers, depending on what image you look at, can go out that far. Let's just try and keep them. So what I'm trying to do here is visualize the feathers as not individual things, but as a cloth that's wrapped around, and as the arms come up, it's folded over the arm, and it's like, how would the feathers lie on that? So the line is just to give me an idea of feather would be lying there. There'd be another one here. There'd probably be more as they fall down with gravity. But it's just to give me that little bit of mental help on there to figure out what's going on with that. Here, you're going to have more of the feathers wanting to fall down. So you're probably going to be looking at something along the lines like that. Hopefully you're getting, don't know if that's showing up on camera because of the light settings. Do let me know if it's not coming that clearly for you, and I'll see what I can do to sort the drawing out more so you can see it. Right. Woohoo, I'm getting spam calls now. Getting one from Lloyd's Bank telling me I've successfully set up something, and I'm like, that's good, I don't have Lloyd's Bank, go away. Remember folks, if you receive texts from random numbers that you aren't sure of, don't reply to the number on the bloody text. Google it, check the website for the actual company, and just say, you know, if you have received something and you're thinking there's someone set it up and they're trying to use my details, just double check online. If in doubt of what spammers are like, I think, is it Jim Browning on YouTube? I think it's Jim Browning. Just go watch videos that Jim's done to see how he deals with scammers and what they do. You know, it's nice that there's a guy out there who's doing his best to try and have a go at scammers, but they get away with so much, and it's such a shame that people fall for these tricks that they go for. I had one the other day, the phone rang, I answered it, and it was this robotic voice going, "We are from Her Majesty's Customs and Excise," and I'm like, yeah, sure you are, mate. But some people will fall for that. And it's such a bloody shame. I just want to grab all of these scammers and wring their bloody necks. Right, so anyway, getting back to something far more entertaining than talking about bastard scammers. One of these things where they add windows for people's clothes, and I'm like, looks kind of cool and all that, but it's also going to be cool, as in a breeze. Have I seen any of Kit Boger's Scam the Scammers vids? No, I shall have to look into that, because that sounds a lot like what Jim does. It was actually funny in one video. Jim rang one of these scammers pretending that he didn't know anything, and this scammer's like, "Are you Jim Browning?" And he's like, "Yes." And the scammer hung up because he knew who he was. So it's like my voice is now becoming recognisable to them. But it's also hilarious how he's essentially like the guy from Taken. He can track these people down to where they live, and he's like, "You live here," and they're like, "No, I don't." He's like, "Well, really? The pictures from your cell phone show you." Oh, now I need to know what. She has something on the back as well. Oh, fudge cakes, fudge cakes, fudge cakes. Here's a handy image of her back, so she's got that thing. So you'd have a bit of it. Yeah. There's clothing with holes in it. It's one of these things that they tend to go for in games and stuff like that because, you know, it looks cute or sexy or whatever. But seriously, if you ever try wearing these things, and I have, it's like you get a breeze across your chest. It's like it's a bit uncomfortable, really. That's just me being an old fart. Yeah, back in my day, people didn't used to wear stuff like that. We used to run around with armored bikinis. I know it's not a ball here, but it's just to remind me that's what that is. I was going to say a voice changer would be fun. Darth Vader the Devil, Hatsune Miku, Sauron. I just like the idea of having Hal. Now, if you could decide onto your online banking, I'm sorry, Dave, I can't do that. Because that's the other thing that makes me laugh about these scams as well is trying not to be typical, but a lot of them do tend to sort of come from the Indian area. But they're all like, my name is Steve, or my name is Bob, or anything like that, and you're like, no, it's not. And the best was on one of Jim's video, he challenged someone about it, and the guy was like, oh, we use it as a code name because you can't say my real name. Because it's unpronounceable to people, so we just go with code names for, you know, Westerners. Like, that's the lamest excuse I've heard, but at least you give some form of excuse. I'll let you off on that one. I remember there was a guy who trolled cold callers by speaking as Donald Duck. No, I remember when I lived back up north and I still had a landline, I had a cold caller ringing up to... It was something like, oh, your computer's not working right or something, and we'll help you fix it and stuff. And I was like, I'm sorry, but I don't use the computer, I'm too young for it. I can, you know, get my mum and she'll be able to talk to you. And they're like, oh, yes, go get your mum. I went, okay, and I just put the phone, you know, on the side and then just wandered off. Came back like 10 minutes later, they were still waiting. I'm like, what? You're the ones paying that bill, mate, not me. But I do remember another time I thought I was getting a cold caller, or like a scam caller or something like that, because all I could hear was this rustling on the phone, and every time I hung up it still was there. I'd pick up the phone and they'd still be on the phone, and I could hear this rustling. I'm like, okay, maybe it's not a cold caller, maybe someone's pocket dialed, but how do I let them know? So I'm yelling down the phone, your phone's on! And then it went silent for a second, and then I heard a knock on the front door. And I went to the front door and one of my friends was there, and I went, is your phone trying to ring me by any chance? And he looked and I went, oh yeah, I've been ringing you for like the past 15 minutes. I'm like, yeah, I know. I've been trying to yell on your phone to get you to pick up. Oh, Gollum would be hilarious, yes. Place him next to the radio speaker and blow the eardrums out. So. I just like the idea of, you know, more like the politeness being the worst thing you can do to them, because the annoying thing is, I mean, these guys are going to sell your number on it regardless. But it's like the idea, if you're somewhat polite to them, there's a chance that they won't be vindictive against you. You know. I mean, I'm the kind of guy that if I ever met a scammer in real life, I'd probably hit him. Repeatedly. Just because I really detest them. But at the same time, I'm also like, yeah, I'll just hang up on them. Oh, wait. Microphone almost went into the tea. And yeah, they will wait for ages just because to them, there's money at the end of it. If they can get you to log on to your bank. I did have a funny idea of what to do, though, if I ever had one that got through to me in person. Because a lot of the time it's all this automated stuff. But if they're like, oh, can you log on to your automated banking? I'd be like, yep, I've done that. And they're like, can you do it on the computer that you're using? I'm like, no, my automated banking is on a separate computer for a specific reason. But yeah, a lot of the ones I watch, they get people to essentially give them control of their PC, and then get them to sign into their online banking, and then they'll turn the screen off and just rob them blind. Right, so let's. I love how we're trying to drill this image of 2B, and we've, thanks to the scammers, we've now gone off on a complete and utter tangent. Curse them for disrupting the stream. So let's have a look at this. I want to do more as... I've also got to remember not to sing. I've got a song that's come on that I really like from a... it's not a point and click as such. It's probably more akin to like a visual novel. Basically, you take the part of a space detective who's been called to look upon a ship that's been lost for thousands of years in deep space and such. And you turn the computer on and you have the AI talking to you. But it's mostly because of the nature of the game. You can't type to the AI, so you've got like selection wheels and such. And you have to unravel what happened on this ship. And it's actually a really nice game. Very dark in places as well. But it has a song at the end as well, which is not Arrow, or basically not porn, playing on the whole thing that a lot of visual novel games essentially are that. And it sings about how it's the whole premise of the game isn't to show you any form of images like that. It's more just a pure and heartfelt game about a girl who was pushed to the edge and the AI of a ship, and what their stories are of how they came to be. Probably not selling the game that well here, but it's a good story. As I said, just kind of dark. Even if the developer did do a... It's an interesting choice. In the sequel game as such, which basically picks up from where the first one leaves off with you escaping the initial ship. You're on your way back to Earth, and you've got these two AI. And there's an achievement for finishing the game with one of the AI in this traditional dress, which the AI is like worrying for part of the game and stuff like that. And it turns out that you can't actually get that achievement because of an event that occurs, which is kind of sad and disappointing. What happens to the character? And the whole achievement is there to, give you an idea that you can save this character, and you can't. And it's like, that's a bit dark. Hang up on the scammers, not us. Yes, the horny police. That's alright. I'm sure they've got my details on file. Ah, tea, the most precious of life-giving liquids. Right, okay. So let's... Try and add a bit more life to this by adding creases of the clothes. And her gloves. So they've got things in there. Oh, actually, no, they go onto the palm, so they wouldn't even do that. So this should be about here, actually. And then it goes up and then down into the middle. So a few creases onto the front, just to try and give it a bit of stop it being look so flat on there. I'm still not happy with how this skirt flares out, but I'm really struggling to think on how to do it. It's one of these things where if I actually made costumes, I'd probably be alright in understanding how to do this, but at the moment it's anti-grav skirt because it's all I can sort of think on how to do that at the moment. You have it come up to there, and then now the best thing about this is it has a fancy pattern on it, but it's not frilly, it's not frills all around the edge of it. And it's white on the inside. Actually, does it have... is it white and with the gold pattern on the inside? I'll have to check that one. The tree almost killed me. Never mind another tree. Are you playing that Viking game? Or are you playing a driving game? Because it sounds like me playing the driving game. Oh, that tree almost got me. Oh wait, another one got me. Ah! This is where people sit back and go, but trees don't move in driving games. Like, I know. Roads don't have trees. I know. Who says I'm driving on the road? Roads, where I'm going, I should really use them. I chopped it down, it slipped off the stump and hit me. But then the tree that actually hit another tree and that fell on me. Now, I like games that do that, where, tree physics are dangerous, because, trees are bloody dangerous. So I might look into picking it up. It depends on what I get paid. Because I've still got plenty of time before Replicant is released, so I might look into that. Although I am thinking on Tuesdays of getting another co-op stream going. It'll be Tsubasa and Kurosakura. We will be doing The Division. Because they've not played it before. And whilst, yes, I have played and completed it, I enjoy it. So I've honestly no problems coming back to that. We did a test the other day. The game works fine for all computers. We just haven't tested the stream. But yes, there is that we might look to do from next Tuesday, I believe we're looking at. We're just trying to get the final bit sorted so that we know what's happening. It might be that I'll stream it here, or it might be that we'll just have like Savasa stream it, or Kurosakura may stream it, or all three. You know, that's multiple angles of such. But I will try and find out by at least Saturday so we can make sure you're all prepared for next week. I'm not happy with those. They don't look featherish, but they'll do for now. (933 KDA). I don't know that one. Brain's not working on that one, I'm afraid. Oh, I've closed down the wrong image. No, come back. Come back, image. I need you. Right. Okay, let's try actually drawing her face. Her face. I don't know why I said it with a weird voice, but her face. Oh, no, I want to zoom in on that image so then I can actually look at that. Does she have a mole? I've never looked into that. Depends on what image you're looking at, but 2B does or doesn't have a mole. To the Boru, let's find an official piece of art and have a look. Frantic typing, even though I can't spell, I've just noticed. She does. Huh. Interesting. I never actually noticed that before. I don't know how I managed to miss that one, but yeah, I never noticed that she had a mole. We'll just put you there. Ooh, how to draw her face. That could be kind of useful. Oh, that is tiny image. It's tiny by tiny. There's one on the website, like, you know, how to draw 2B, and it is such a small image. I'll wing it. At least know she's got a mole. Ah, right, now I get you, yeah. Yeah, I'm usually lost with abbreviations and stuff. Hey Volan, welcome to the stream. Thanks for popping by. Today I'm drawing 2 booty. Well, technically it's only 1 booty, but you know, it'd be the best booty. The booty we all want to looty. Right, so let's clear off some of this mess. And where's that? Oh, come back. The one I actually got with a nice image of her face. Ah! Windows picture viewer, why do you zoom out? That's something I'm probably going to have to do, isn't it? I'm going to have to do 2 images. because obviously I'm going to need to do one with the blindfold and one without. Let's at least line the blindfold in for a moment, so no, or battle visor, or whatever they call it in the game. Been looking forward, just remember to unmute. That's no worries. Again, it's the trouble is trying to blend what's on the photograph to what the game has. I think that mouth went right. Is my head coming on camera? It might be. Apologies. Alright, okay. So... wait, I was about to look at the image to find out the best way of drawing her eyes, but they've drawn the blindfold on that one, so like that doesn't really help me. I'm actually going to see if I can find a chibi. Chibis are good for eyes because they try and give you like the basics of the shapes. So if you're ever stuck, look for chibis. It's basically a HUD. The blindfold gives you a HUD during gameplay. Yeah, I know it's sort of, you know, that they're the explanation for it, but I am sort of just like, it's a blindfold. It's, yeah. I know it's a stylistic choice and stuff, but it's one of those things about the game where I'm just like, they were in blindfolds. How can they see? But then again, you know, I sort of sit back and I think, Ryder can see. Who complains about Ryder? Now, let's have a look. Okay. Not that I need to worry about that eye, but I'd like to at least have it there. So, right now, so that eye is going to be... Again, I'm taking a fairly realistic looking image, or a realistic looking character, so it's not like she has anime style eyes in the game, and I'm now trying to convey that into a anime image. This might take one or two attempts at this. It's also actually got that too far out. Okay. And then I forgot to check what kind of eyebrow she has. When in fault, when in doubt, go for default. Right. This is where it's kind of pointless actually drawing the other eye because it's gonna get covered by hair. But it'd be weird if I didn't. So, let's go back to one which has got more of a, or less of a realistic look on there. Where's that chibi get to? Chibi tan. It's at a moment like this I look at my picture files and I'm like, I've got a lot of 2B on here. Not it's a bad thing. 2B is cute. Cue the 2B A2 fan war. Rawr. I think it's safe to say that all the characters in the game actually have their own unique charms, and you can actually like all of them, including 9S. He's one of those that when you learn about him, I've actually came to put up with him a bit more. Right, so let's go for giving the one way that I build her up, for those that may not know, is try and break the hair down into shapes, big shapes, and then you can break those down into finer shapes from there. So as you've seen, I've got this shape here, which is sort of the, hang on, left, I had to try and figure out because I'm looking at a picture of it, it's on the right side, so it's the left hand bang that goes over the eye. So I've just drawn it as a shape, so I've got a rough idea of that. The hair in the background, another shape, this piece, yet another shape, and then there's this one coming down here that I want to have sort of curl out a little bit over the face before having the rest of the hair as such. Does she have, that's something, she has the hair that that style that flares out, doesn't she? The floofy style. But that's, and then what I am going to do is take a line here. Actually, let's do it. Where's that photograph? That'll give me a better idea for that headband. So take headbands over there. Are these too big for cat ears? I think they're a bit too big. I've got to remember that when I draw Loyu's cat ears, it's going back to ages ago when I first started drawing. I had no idea how to draw cat girls at the time. And her ears are very large, whereas a lot of more traditional cat girls have very small, triangular cat ears. Because, you know, if I was drawing this as like Loyu, you know, this would come out to like here kind of thing. You know, Loyu's ears are massive. And the idea was, I did have an idea to actually draw this as Loyu as such. But then I thought, nah, I might as well just do more fan art stuff. It's been fun doing fan art, to be honest. Breaking away from drawing picture after picture of Loyu. Also gives you guys something else to see that isn't Loyu, you know. And then all I do for the rest of the hair is then start just adding extra detail lines onto the shapes I've done. Hide any parts that shouldn't show. And then reoccurs as I have to then redraw this one in ink on separate paper. But that's for future me to worry about. Now, so the only unsafe amount of 2 pieces picks is none. Yep. I might draw, I don't know. Part of me's thinking it'd be a shame just to get rid of the other eye, but it is very much 2B is just to have the one showing. I'll think about it when I come to do the line sketch. What I might do when I come to transfer the line art is I'll do a version of this, and then I'll shift the paper over, and then I'll do one with her shifted over, she got both eyes, and then shift it over more, and then have one which the blindfold. So you can, what I'll do is that I can then composite at the end, and then it will be 3 separate images, but I'm only having to colour one in. And then it'd be a case of you just save whichever image you prefer. I think that's probably the best bet. Yoko Taro does love 2BT stuff. I'd love to know what he thought of the bloody 2B with the moustache. Plus, if you have enough arse in photo, you can get input from the creator for comic critique. Is this going to require me having a Twitter? Am I going to have to cave and say I'll get a Twitter account just so I can post art on there? It does appear to be the way on a lot of things. I'll look at some artists and they post a lot on Twitch and I'm like, maybe I should get it and just, kind of like Facebook, just use it solely for posting art. Because I don't actually look at Facebook or any of the stuff that goes on there. Mostly for mental health reasons. There was a lot of negativity on Facebook, and it was hard to sift through the negativity to find what I wanted to see. And I know that Twitter is a hotbed of, you know, or hive of scum and villainy, really. So if I could avoid it, I really would, but I get the feeling I can't really do so for long. I was just about to say your moustache, Toby. Oh, hang on. I need to do this. You guys probably already know what's coming with my maniacal laughter, but you know, Do I have a pair of scissors lying there? Yes, I do. Awesome. Right. Actually, let's do it properly. Apologies for the head on camera. Scissors. Negativity on social media. It's so. I know. It's shocking. Who'd have thought people would use social media to make people feel shit about themselves instead of, trying to spread happiness and whatnot. I mean, there's a few people that they probably still use social media for posting happy stuff, but I gave up trying to find it on Facebook. But the most active I'll be is I'll have a look on Facebook after a picture's been posted just to reply to any comments. But the picture posting itself usually is all done via Instagram, so... And I've just realised that I really could move this microphone out of the way because it is slap bang in the middle of my field of vision. I'm getting that wonderful ghost effect where you can see through objects because your dominant eye is being blocked by something. Ah, fantastic! Yes. Okay, now that distraction's out of the way. Alright, let's finish up the ears. And then what I need to do is try and track down a picture of Pod. Just trying to clean up some of the Lineart a bit there. Alright, so one moment whilst I find Pod. I know roughly the shape of Pod, but it's mostly the arms. Oops, forgot about that image. Sorry, I should really explain. I stumbled across an image that I'd saved, which is 9S and 2B, and they've come across Emil. But Emil is basically the head of Emil, is the main eye of a Tachikoma. And it's hilarious and horrifying at the same time. Unfortunately, no. Ah, excellent. I knew I'd saved it somewhere. There was a chibi image of 2B with cat ears, and it was titled Nya Automatnya. And I knew I had it somewhere, but it also had a chibi version of Pod, which is kind of useful. Oh, wait, no, I'm going to run out of paper. Ah. Might need to move pod over. I'm going to have to move pod over. I'd still love to be able to see if I could make a pod out of, like, you know, very thin card or paper and fill it with a helium balloon. And then cosplay as, like, I'd probably have to cosplay as Nines, to be honest. But just cosplay as one of them and have this pod be on a string, but have this pod floating behind me. Now, actually, pod would be... Pod would be tilted up, but that would be over there. Hang on, my idea had pod tilted that way. So keeping those lines there to there, would pod do... Nope, that looks wrong. Let's do that then. Why is it so hard to draw a box? Yeah, I can draw this image of a woman. I try and draw a box, I'm stuck. So what was the hardest part of that image you drew? Well, I was trying to draw this boxy thing with 2 cylinders for arms. Don't ask why it took so long to try and figure out how to draw a box in the right way. Ladies and gentlemen, art. Also drawn pod way too big. Okay, I'm gonna have to, when I come to line this in, I'm gonna have to put pod somewhere else and make it smaller. Yeah, because pod would need to be about yay big. That's looking better, pod size. Another thought that I was talking to Spatter about this was like perhaps putting a drone in and having like a remote controlled pod, but I figured that'd be a bit hard. And also you'd have the risk of it, you know, flying off and hitting someone. I'd rather not have that. Let's just quickly have a look. Twitter consists of 3 categories: boobs, Japanese stuff, and things that haven't upset me enough to eat them yet. You know, yeah. The first 2 categories I definitely agree with, especially if they're combined. Or to use a thin metal rod to a short one. Yep, there is that. That would be... If I could make it light enough without the need for like the healing balloon, then yes, the metal rod would be a decent way to go. Because at least that way you'd have yourself and then pod behind you. If you did it on the string, pod would always be above you. And yeah, the first 2 categories cover a lot, yeah. I actually remember talking to a lass at work, and they wanted to look through my art, and I was like, you're going to find it's like a lot of images of women, because that's what I know how to draw, and it's like, you know, part of my interests. And she was like, you know, there's nothing wrong with drawing what interests you. And then she sort of looked through it all, and it was one of those things, this was like when I first started drawing a lot. I was really expecting to be like, oh, actually, no, this is too much, there's just... And she was like, so receptive to everything, and I always thought that, you know, if, you know, constantly drawing women would be a bad thing. And it is good to branch out and try and draw stuff. It's just I prefer drawing women because it's what I like. Interests. I can try and branch out here and there, but I'm just not good at the other stuff. If I put my mind to it, I'm alright. It's like that trawler I did when I went on holiday. I took a photograph of a fishing trawler coming into port. So I decided I'll try and colour it. I did alright with that. And then I went back to my normal and drew more like you. What was it? One second, I just remembered I needed to check something because my brain doesn't want to work. Oh, I hate websites. I don't mind websites where I actually trust them, and they're like, you know, you've got an ad blocker on, turn it off. I'm like, yeah, sure, it's fine. But it's when you get to someone, it's like, turn your ad blocker off, and then the page is just ad after ad after ad. This is why I had ad blocker on. I can't find what I need to find. You guys might be able to help because my brain ain't working on this one. When Pod calls up things, he does it in like a specific way. It's like when you catch a fish, you'd be like status fresh, and there's one of the things that they say, and it worked well. Basically, Pod here being like, you know, if you're status cute, and I was going to put that, and I can't for the love of me remember what the descriptive word would be on that one. I don't English well. It's one of those that I originally thought of. I was like, yeah, that worked brilliantly, and now my brain ain't working and I can't remember it. It's going to annoy me because the moment I go back into game, I know Pod's going to say it, and I'll be like, that's the word I was after! Damn you, Pod. Let's have a look. A microdrone puppeteering pod could be more impressive. Yeah, it's all about fitting it in, and also ideally fitting it in without the zzz sound. He keeps you could probably weld the rod to a bulldog clip, and then you can fit it to the shoulder blade of a cosplay upper. Yeah, there is that. Also, the advantage to Toby's outfit is you've got the hole in the back, so you could actually have something on your shoulders and have the rod sort of U-shape underneath that window. Not sure about the status report. Don't think I heard the question. There's a certain phrase that Pod uses sometimes when finding. It's mostly when I pet Pod. And he says something, and the first part of it would be absolutely perfect for this. But essentially, it's like, you know, it'd be like status cute, but it's not status, and the word I need is just, well, it was there earlier, and now it's gone, and I'm just like, I hate the way my brain works. It's just stopped, and can't remember what the smeg it would be. I'll probably remember it about 3 in the morning. I'll wake up screaming it. Let's just try it and Google that with petting. No. So there's less of a problem with something like the Minami Masquerade with no one. Yes, there is that, I suppose. And also, if you've got music playing in the background, it wouldn't be too much of an issue there, I guess. Prognosis. That could be, yeah. Part of my brain is saying it began with an A, and I can't think. Yeah, I'll worry about it later. I know what it is going to be saying. That's the main thing. I don't know if I should make Pod blush, you know. Little blushes. Report affinity increased. There is that. I'll report cute. Yeah. Someone did a 2B XCOM voice back. Awesome. I think I should actually pick up like all the XCOM stuff that I don't have and maybe do a playthrough because I've completed the first game. I don't think I finished the second, to be honest, so that could be an interesting one for me to stream at some point. You know, actually play a game where I've not actually finished it. But the idea of having a 2B on the team would be kind of hilarious. Oh. Alright, let's just... try neating this up, and then it's ready pretty much for me to start doing the line art for, which I will probably work on later on today. I shall get some... I have to go get some milk first. Before I even think of anything else, I'm going to run across the shops and get some milk. And then I'll probably have a crack at lining this in. So hopefully by the end of the day, I'll have at least the lined version. Oh, this is going to be a sod to colour, because it's black. Ah! I'll try and keep the tail on, I was going to say on camera, on page. So let's curve that one up. Now the question is, do I have this as the original photograph where it's black cat ears on the headband with a black tail, or do I say, well, I've done a cat version of and keep the ears the same colour as the hair? Oops. I might as well keep a hint of the stockings on there for the skin dentation look. I'm kind of really exaggerating it here, but it's mostly to remind me to keep it there when I come to do that. I've got to really get the feathers drawn better, but at least I have an idea of how they're gonna look. That's most of what this is. It's just shapes to give me an idea of what they're gonna do, and then I can worry about making them look feathery on the final. So now all I'm doing is just touching up various parts where it's faded a bit, where I've rubbed across it or it wasn't clear enough originally. Also get rid of any errant lines that I don't need. having the photo reference did help, just if nothing else, for basic anatomy and hands. Hands. Why did they have to be so complex? We should all just have chibi hands. Let's have a look. So, XCOM 2 is good with DLC. Oh wait, yeah, no, which one? Yes, I think it's the DLC I don't have, so I'd have to see about getting that. Leave the art ambiguous, resolve with multiple colour variants, have one version with Pop commenting on the finalisation protocol. Oh yeah, I like that. Yeah, I suppose I could do, to be honest, if I do a ink of the body, and then I'm going to have to do separate heads, but if I keep the tail off, and the ears off, I could do one where she's doing this without the ears, one where she's doing it with the ears, one with both eyes, one with blindfold. That's going to be a hell of a lot of work. It's going to be an interesting one to try. Because a lot of the time when I do the post up the art to Pixie, it literally is just scan it, add a very small blur layer on top. So what I do is I copy the image, and then in the top image I apply a Gaussian blur, so everything sort of fuzzies out, and then I make it very transparent, usually about, I think it's about 10%, 10 to 20% opacity. And what it does is it's where the scan's got like very sharp edges to everything, just because of the age of my scanner, it just smooths it out slightly, and it's almost like Vaseline across a lens kind of thing. You could use the H-game process variation where you only re-illustrate the parts that are different and composite digitally. Yes, there is that. That's sort of what I was thinking of doing. I'd probably end up doing this image in full, and then I'll use a separate sheet of paper for different heads. And then, yes, it'd be a case of when I come to do it, because I'll be able to basically have like a datum point down here to line it up, so that I know I can layer the head version on top of the original in open canvas, and then it's just literally line up all the line arts, and then save that image, close that layer, next layer, save the image, and so on. So yeah, there could be multiple versions quite easily on this one. It's not much of a problem for me to do that. But yes, I think I'm more or less done on this then, apart from just neatening up the tail. As I said, I'll have a tackle of the line art later on. Get that sorted, and then so at least try and get this done today. Make up for the inadvertently long kip. Let's get rid of that because I don't need that line. I don't need that line. Yeah, so that's fairly good. I'm more or less happy with the way that's turned out. So let's just so that everyone can hopefully see this. I don't know how it's going to show on camera. So let's put it where it's not getting. Let's turn the brightness down on that one. It's not. Yeah. Turn the brightness down too far. Oh, that does. So yeah, that's the original pose, and then that's what we've ended up with. It was an interesting thing to try and draw, to create a full-blown fan art image off the original pose. And it was interesting to use the original to try and get the anatomy done right. So, yes, I've now got several ideas I can do in terms of the head, so I'll be able to get that sorted. I did bring out the light box just to have something to rest on and aim at, if you will. I still need to get something for the middle just to hold it off. But that is my only complaint I've had with this, is it doesn't have something in the middle to support, so it bends a little bit because it's acrylic. But apart from that, this light box has been fantastic. And because it's LED powered, I can just use a power bank if I want to do anything upstairs away from the PC. I can just plug it into a power bank and off it goes. So yeah, it's been like the best 20 quid I spent for art stuff. So yeah, I'm really chuffed to manage to pick that one up. And the fact that it goes through fairly thick printer paper onto allowing me to draw it onto the marker paper is absolutely fantastic. Don't think I'll include the moustache in some of the variants. I don't think anybody else would get the joke apart from us. Right, so I will end the stream there. It's a little bit earlier than the 2 hours, but then again I did wake up late, so kind of my own fault on that one. I will say thank you very much again for joining me and sitting through my little doodle escapade. I do hope you enjoyed it. Hope you had some fun. I will next be streaming, what day are we on? We're on Wednesday, aren't we? So it'll be Friday next. I should be playing Nier, so, you know, there'll be more to booty. We shall crack on with that. I did a quick test earlier on. There's no issues with the new hard drives we've put in. The game's transferred over correctly, so that was one of the fears I had, that we may have lost some stuff. But that's all fine, so we'll be perfectly fine for when we come to do that on Friday. Saturday will be more co-op streaming, maybe some Deep Rock Galactic, just so we can get Ellie a few runs through on that. As I said, we are also looking at doing the Division as a playthrough. We've done the tutorial stuff, so we've got that out the way, mostly to test the games, but also then it's out the way, ready to go. And then we can run through Manhattan and see about that. It's also kind of interesting playing the Division with everything that's going on, and you're looking at it's less the what's it called? Is it the green virus that they call it in there? I forget what they call it, for the Black Friday virus that they have in there, and it's just like we're just treating it as if it's you know human malware. Yeah, it certainly has a slightly different feel to it playing it given the current conditions. But yeah, that's maybe here. Green Black Plague, I think they called it. Yeah, it was something like it's when the videos came on at the start, I went to make myself a cup of tea because I'm like, I've seen all this, completely forgetting that my mind isn't working properly and I can't remember half of it. But I was like, yeah, I really should have paid more attention to that. What I'm going to do now is just quickly see if there's anyone to go raid, because I've got to remember to do raids. Oh, there is one of my old anime buddies. He is doing Sea of Thieves, so we could always have a crash onto that one and give him a few extra people to see what he's doing on that one. Let's just load that up and see. Hang on, let's make sure it's muted, otherwise it's going to be... There we are, right, that's fine. Now, let's see, can I get this? So it's slash raid, I've got to remember that one. Right, anyway, I'll do my final little bits whilst I figure this out, so let me just go... Oh, I've done all that, haven't I? You have to excuse me, my brain doesn't want to work. Right, yes, that's everything that I need to do then. So I'll get this raid going. So, one of my old friends from when I did West Country Anime. I said he's currently doing Sea of Thieves, so we'll have a quick crash on there and have a chat and see how things are going for him. Again, thank you very much for coming to the stream today, and I hope to catch up with you all on the next one. I wish everyone a great evening or morning, depending on where you're watching this. And yes, see you all around. Toodles. No, that's not right. Fudge cakes.
I hate this.